What's up, upstanders? Dr. O here. And, I've just been thinking about the sense of where we are as a country in the first month of the Trump administration 2.0. And there's a vibe that I keep getting, a sense of kind of we've been here before in recent memory. And I was just trying to like pinpoint it. And it's the COVID pandemic. Like the sense of where we were at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, that's kind of where we are right now. And of course, we're not dealing with the extreme aspects of the COVID pandemic in terms of people dying instantly and freezer trucks of bodies that couldn't be buried. Like that extreme part, no. Well, we're not there at this point now. Having said that, Trump has gotten rid of people who deal with outbreaks and so on and so forth. I'm hoping we never get there again. But the other aspect of it, like the sense of a nationwide depression, the sense of nationwide anxiety, the sense of not knowing what's going to happen next. What are you going to lose next? Are you going to lose your house because you couldn't work? Are you going to lose your job? The sense of isolation, people feeling alone. That's what I'm feeling now, and I'm looking at people. Here I am in the DC area, and the house, DC, over 8,000 houses are on the market now, and I think like over half of those have come up during the last 30 days or so. People just get so the market has plunged in terms of the housing market here in DC. Thinking about the anxiety I see of people being deported, and videos people crying for they to be able to call their wives and or partners or their moms, people being separated. I'm thinking of people not going to school, people being afraid to go. Now again, these are different reasons and it's not affecting every group, but you understand what I'm saying. I'm also thinking about resources not being able to make it to communities. But the main difference right now between that and then and now is that this is being man-made and this is being orchestrated day by day by Trump and Musk. And I'm looking everywhere we go at American University, as well as universities across the country. Students are losing their internships, not even summer internships, but the internships they had at the moment, just gone. I see across the country, universities are creating GoFundMe campaigns for alumni who've lost their jobs and afraid of rent, being able to pay their rent or mortgage. I see stories about, I lost this and I have a newborn, I have a child with, physical issues, challenges, disabilities, and the like, and not sure. Like a lot of that pain and anxiety, we're here. But here's the thing, a lot of what happened at the beginning of the COVID pandemic was also orchestrated by Trump as well. Because Trump was the person who has been found on audio saying that I knew it was dangerous, but I wanted to downplay it. Trump is the person who was telling people things, don't sweat it, drink bleach, and all this other type of stuff. And probably most importantly, Trump was the person who got rid of the pandemic response team that Obama had in place, which had systems in line that, programs and things in line to help deal with the pandemic on the front end. And so, whether we're talking about COVID or whether we're talking about now, in some levels, these are both pandemics, crises created and orchestrated by Trump. Million people didn't have to die under COVID in the United States. I firmly believe that if we had the right leadership. But now we have Trump and his cronies intentionally attacking the government, and the stress on people is real. People getting fired in the afternoon, going home, stressing out, losing it. Then maybe like the nuclear workers who then they wake up the next morning and find out, oh, we were just kidding. Yeah, you can come back. But you can't find some of these guys because they don't have access to their email anymore. And you see people, which department's going to come next? It's going to be education and so on and so forth. And people are talking about, get rid of these woke policies. And people are seeing now that woke actually meant Medicaid. It meant Medicare. It meant you woke meant making sure your kid got funding who needed special assistance in school. And if you see, when we're going to talk about schools and you look at some of the education cuts that are happening right now, they're not even fully challenging DEI programs. They're challenging programs that deal with school success, best practices in the classroom, how to measure success, and how to measure student achievement and the like. Those are the things if you people aren't really paying attention because it's Department of Education and people, those are the things that are being really cut right now. So, look, y'all, we've been through a pandemic with this president before. And as we've learned, we can't depend on his leadership because he is part of the problem. So, yeah, we're stressed out there. We're dealing with increased amounts of anxiety and stress. We got through the pandemic and we can get through this, but we can only get through this if we do this together. if we continue to work together, if we continue to build together, if we continue to not be at each other. I get so frustrated when I see people online, and many of these guys are MAGA folks in some of these red states, begging Trump for an exemption of, can you help my farm out? Or pleading to their senator or whatever, can you help my farm out? Can you help my business out? I support you. I voted for you 100%, but I'm dealing with this, and I know you didn't mean it, but he did mean it. The way I remember in 2018, farmers were getting, when they were getting crushed, they were getting suicide notes in the mail that was coming with, suicide hotline mailings because they were losing their farms and the like. But what was interesting, when Trump came in and bailed them out with billions of taxpayer dollars, many of them looked at it as he saved us as opposed to he caused this. So some of these guys were saying, save my farm, save my job, save my this, save my that, have demonstrated that they don't, they don't care about everybody else. But it's when we start to care about everybody else. It's when we start looking out for each other. It's when we really start taking care of each other. Where I'm seeing with universities, like I said, helping out alumni, whether we see people in communities helping kids out with getting school fees taken care of and all of that. That's how we're going to get through this together as we work to build new leadership. Because this is not going to change until we get new leadership and demand that this Musk Trump presidency does not it goes away. But that's not going to happen unless people are working together. Trump preys on division. He's the type of guy who said, when I am running my business, I like to pit people at the boardroom table and let them sit and fight and see who's going to win. That's not the strategy you should run a country. So look, yes, we are stressed. We are dealing with anxiety and many different levels in this country right now. But we have been here before, and we have been here in recent memory. And it's going to take all of our best efforts working together, building our communities to challenge this ignorance, to challenge this hate, to challenge this lack of leadership, to challenge the direct attacks being placed on us in many different ways. But I believe that success is better together, and I believe that we can do this. So let's not continue to despair. Let's prepare, because we have to do this. And what's happening right now, this is not our destination. This is our preparation for a greater destination if we stick together and challenge this nonsense. We've been here before, and we can get over this if we continue to work together. Let me know what you think. I'd appreciate it. Peace.